Hello everybody, Joe Bacon Donuts here, welcome back for another episode of Umineko. Last time we left off, we finished off episode 5, now we're moving on to episode 6. Sorry for the double late episode today. Should have gone up yesterday, but I had nothing recorded, and I should have recorded it earlier today. It's currently like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I got off work at 7:30 this morning, and I've just spent the last 5-6 hours slamming out a fucking 1,000-word essay on fucking Confucius's Analects or whatever. Shit, wild dog. Surprisingly decent essay for something I did while drinking. That I'm continuing drinking now. I'm gonna keep it real with you, Chief. I'm not feeling so hot right now. It might have something to do with me being up all night and coming home and having like a bunch of beer and then drink a pot of coffee and then eat like half a sleeve of Girl Scout cookies and then saute up some mushrooms, regular mushrooms, like just from the store, nothing nefarious. That wasn't code. It was regular mushrooms, and had that, and that's all I've had is beer, coffee, Girl Scout cookies, and mushrooms. And now I have more beer. Sam Adams, Boston Lager. I promise I'm not stuttering because I'm fucking boozed up. It's, again, more because I've been awake all day. But the show must go on, and the episodes must go up. I don't like it when there's not up. Past 3 days, that's when it's like, hey, that's a little too long. Anyway, episode 6, Dawn of the Golden Witch. Good morning. It is at last time for the curtain to rise on Battler-sama's game. Let's observe the fight from the opposite side of the chessboard. Can Battler-sama succeed in playing the demanding role of the game master? There is no longer any difficulty level. At this point, there are no hints. These are not hints, but a confession. Ooh, how enticing. Let's see what new characters show up this time. Was it? I was gonna say last time the man from 19 years ago is now a character, but is he? Because Battler also claimed to be him, but let's just read and find out. I got nothing. Nothing more than a fantasy cannot possibly have any relation to any real people's organizations, places, or events. I take this opportunity to remind players that owning the PS3 and PC editions of Umineko is a requirement for playing this game. We hope you enjoy a fresh experience with the continuation of the story. Yep. I own the PC version. I just don't like the sprites. Beautiful glow shone in from the skylight over the Grand Cathedral. I didn't change my voice there. It just got real froggy all of a sudden. The place was somehow different from the way it had been during the witch's trial. The decorations had changed. Wedding? Several pleasantly sparkling white ribbons were paper thin, but they hung beautifully in the air. Flowers were arranged all over in a way that would make any place look cheerful. It was like how a single drop of impure water could spoil an entire cask of wine. Just the presence of the flowers, the ribbons, and the red carpet that ran down the center of the room, it hard to believe that this was the same place Ushiromiya Natsu had been falsely accused of a crime. It had truly become a wedding chapel. Not the voice I was expecting. These words, spoken by 2 demons who seem to be in charge of this gathering, are part of a ceremony for making an oath of love before the eyes of God. Of course, in this wedding celebrated by demons, there is no priest in sight. Instead, there stood the witch who controls miracles. I don't really want you officiating a wedding. Are you like a minister of peace? Can you do this? Like, I don't think their wedding certificate's gonna hold up in court. Well, in court, I say. You just go to City Hall and you file it. You don't even need a ceremony. Moving on.
そうよね、エリカ。我が主。似合ってるわよ。You
didn't see me just like raise my eyebrows and kind of make like a face there when her sprite popped up. That's something. Conquered, you say? Who'd she fucking dig her hooks into?
光栄です。我が主。
Unless we're really in media res here and Battler took a big fat L in episode 6. The bride standing on the carpeted path was Frodo Erica. The groom's face couldn't be seen. The bride's outfit was, without a doubt, a pure white wedding dress. The bride's veil represented both the white of God's blessing and the white of the demon's cruelty. A great many goat nobles, witches, and demons were gathered for this wedding. If only their heads hadn't been those of goats. Would probably have seemed to be a very refined crowd worthy of this great cathedral.
さすがよベル。いちいち考えることがえぐいったらあれしない。
Yeah, where are we going with this?
やめる夫に支える妻。素敵じゃない。お似合いよ、エリカ。そして、あなたにもおめでとう。新郎。
Can't just leave us hanging like that. At that point, Bernkastel stared straight into the groom's eyes. The groom didn't answer. His eyes were gray. His lips would mutter something from time to time, but no one could tell if the words meant anything.
ねえ、聞いてる？あんたたち。
She spoke to the groom in the plural. Of course, there was only one groom. And, of course, the gray-eyed groom didn't answer.
聞こえてはいても答えられませんか？安心して、バトラさん。
Ew. Seems, I was on the right track there.
あなたのすべてを
How the turntables.
私がにじり尽くしてあげますから。
Yeah, I really don't want to see Erica's FetLife profile. The Witch of Miracles sneered with an evil smile that would make even demons want to avert their gaze. Even that sneer provoked no response from Battler's dim eyes. Dim eyes? Demise? Realize? Realize. Realize.
すなわち、今日あなた方は生まれてきた意味を目的。
生きる力。愛今日という日の輝きがどうかお二人を永遠に祝福しますように。
This is some pretty dark brightness.
次の次第は何よ。
お二人に
Now
永
they have
遠の愛の制
to
約を
consummate
求
the
めます。
marriage for all to see.
その次は指輪の交換を。
On Battler's hand was a ring bearing the seal of the one-winged eagle, proof that he was the territory lord of this world. And on Erica's finger was a diamond ring that could not be shattered by any miracle. Diamonds signify an eternal bond. However, in Greek, the word for diamond simply means unbreakable. Diamond does not crash. What a beautiful Dwang. Chew. Erica wasn't vowing to love Battler forever. She just wanted to take Battler as a property for all eternity. This wedding was being performed for the sole purpose of humiliating Battler.
ご安心を。あなたを永遠に愛したりなんかしません。
Yeah, you
だ
can
か
have a
らこ
side
の
piece?
挙式は
Nice.
あなたを征服する儀式です。あなたの心は永遠に
Yeah, maybe Erica does have a
脱
Fat
出不可能の
Life
密室に
prologue.
閉じ込められ
Prologue?
この
Profile.
私
We're in the
完全に
prologue
して
right
真
now
実
for
の魔女
episode 6.
フルドエリカに支配され
Dawn of the Golden Witch.
あんたの持つ領主の座もその証の指輪も わ、
ねえ、
なんです？
でな。
Well, at least you get like some nice, I don't know, some nice kitchenware. That's the thing people usually give you, like, as wedding gifts, right?
出られないですよね。
Like some nice china, some like cooking appliances,
あんたが
whatnot.
自分で作った密室
Maybe a
なんで
nice,
すから。
set of like sheets or whatever, blankets, a whole bedroom set.
あんたは永遠にその密室で苦しむんです。私は妻としてあなたのそばに永遠にいて、その苦悶の表情を独り占めします。あなたを永遠に。後ろ宮バトラー。
Good times. We have good times here. Is this one different than the other opening? I think it might be. I remember being surprised by, at least I thought there were two openings at one point. Like, I booted up the game and I'm like, I don't recognize this track. But I usually just skip right through that. Usually it doesn't even get to play because I just go right into the load screen. So now we just chill. I get to sip my beer. You guys get to listen to some nice music and not me talk as I read the subtitles and try not to fucking die. Well, at least they're better this time around with not giant, super blatant spoilers in the opening. That's cool of them. Glad they did that. I mean, even that, that's all stuff we've seen. Imply. Not like the first half of the game where it's like, oh yeah, every time you're forced to watch this opening, and oh yeah, here's all these characters that haven't entered the story yet. So it's like when your fucking friend is talking about a book or like a show that you haven't seen yet, and you're telling them about it, and they're like, so you got to that part, huh? Oh man, I hope you don't get too attached to them. It's like, what do you mean? And I'm not gonna say. And it's like, well, you basically just told me. But like the opposite of that, like, well, I know there's gonna be more people showing up that are gonna play a role in the story, so it's like you gotta keep my options open when I'm, thinking of things, Maybe the solution is something that hasn't even appeared yet. All that could be heard was the sound of the wind. The sound of misfortune, strong enough to bring sadness and unease to those who heard it. Slowly, I came back to my senses. I finally regained consciousness on top of a bed with a firm mattress. Where was this again? I couldn't remember where this was, but I could vaguely recall that it was very bad for me to be here. The room was dimly lit. There was a light on, but that just made the darkness and eeriness of the room more apparent. There were no curtains over the windows, but it was too dark outside to see anything beyond it. If I squinted into that pitch blackness, it felt as though I would see the witch of the forest peeking back at me through the darkness, and I averted my gaze from the window in fear. I couldn't see or hear it, but I got the feeling that if I left this room, it would be bright and warm, and someone would be there for me. I have to get to where everyone else is right now. I have a bad memory from when I was very young. A bad memory from when I was very young began to well up. I was having trouble staying awake during a family gathering, and the next thing I knew, I was lying on a bed in a room I'd never seen before. I have a horrible, painful memory of waking up there, feeling incredibly lonely, and crying my eyes out. Oh, the mind of a child. Just instantly teleported away. How could this have happened? This room? I'm not supposed to be here. I just want out. Once I started thinking that way, I didn't want to stay in this room a second longer than I had to. This room scares me. It's creepy. Where is everyone? I want to get out of here right now. I opened the door, trying to leave the room. A pleasant glow snuck in through the crack of the door. As I thought, the corridor was filled with a comforting light. I couldn't actually hear them, but I could see that far away, people were enjoying themselves. I could sense. I didn't say see, it said sense, because he said he couldn't see them. Everyone else must be gathered in the room across from this one. I've been shut up in this lonely, creepy room, all alone. I should go, quickly. A new animation? As soon as I thought this, a merciless, metallic sound rang out, and the door refused to open any further. The chain had been set. I always hated chain locks. You can open a normal lock just by twisting. But chain locks are built in a kind of annoying way where it's difficult to undo them easily. So I've hated them since I was very young. See? And this chain is causing me trouble. I just can't get it undone. Why is this happening? I just want to leave this creepy room right away. Also, new track. Just on the other side of this thin door, everything is bathed in a warm light. I can't undo it. I just can't undo this chain. The more desperate I grew, the more the unsettling darkness of this room seemed to close in on me from behind, and the more frightened I became. Then, I finally noticed there was something wrong with this chain. Yes, there's a chain, but there isn't a chain lock. This is just a chain staked into the door so that it can't open any further. In other words, it isn't made to be opened. No voice line? Alright. What the hell's going on? Do something like this, damn it. Yeah, I can't compete with, a Daisuke Ono voice. You're gonna have to deal with me. Even that was me trying to put on a voice which isn't very different from my normal voice. No matter what I did, no matter how much I struggled, I couldn't pull out the stake or undo the chain or break the mechanism. This door was just a demon's mouth, made to trick me into thinking it would open before crushing my hopes a moment later. Even so, if only I could just open this door somehow, I could get out into that pleasant corridor. This desire forced me to keep my hand glued to the doorknob. But it was useless. Both the chain and the stake were firm, and though they clattered about, there was no chance of them letting the door open any further. Even though I could see the pleasant hallway through the crack, I had no chance of opening the door any further. Maybe someone will come if I yell. Maybe the door can be opened easily from the outside. When I thought of this, I tried to call out to someone, but it's as though the wind had been knocked out of me. I could mouth the words, "Someone come here," but no voice left my lips. What's going on? Someone, come. Why can't I cry out? Help me, help me, help me. Not even being able to say help me out loud scared me more than anything. And if I turned around, the witch gazing into the room from the darkness outside might now be inside the room, standing right behind me. Framed. I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared. Someone help me, someone help me. Can't get out, can't get out. Someone let me out of this room. Help me, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared. Let me out, let me out, let me out, help me, help me, help me. Well, that's an opening.
お嬢、先方がいらっしゃったそうですぜ。
あ、
I haven't heard fucking from you guys in a while. Amakusa ran his fingers down my cheek. I woke in an instant from the doze I had just been in. I glared at Amakusa from waking me in such a creepy way, but he just played dumb. I'll get used to it. Here's interesting ways of waking people up when they fall asleep at work. Where is this? Feels like a parlor in the house of some well-off person. But I have no memory of this place at all. I don't know, kind of looks like a cafe. Where is this? And why am I mainly say that because it looks like there's a coffee grinder, and, well, it'd be kind of weird for, you know, a cafe to have, like, all this books, but, you know, it could just be them trying to set a vibe.
お嬢、寝ぼけてるんですかい？
ええ、ごめん。ここ、どこ？
はあ？
Apparently, I didn't expect me to forget something like that just because I wasn't fully awake yet. Oddly enough, I agreed. Why am I in this parlor that I don't recognize? The sound of footsteps of the person, or people, that Amakusa had mentioned, had come right up to the opposite side of the door. I could hear the sound of a conversation. They were probably women. Judging by the coffee and snacks laid in front of me, I was the guest here. In that case, I'd better remember why I came here. Or at least who it was I came to visit. Who am I? Ushirmi Anje. Who's this man standing behind me? Amakusa Juza. We already know Amakusa, but sure. Former bodyguard of Ava's, an extreme thrill seeker who accepts dangerous jobs for little pay. He served as Anje's bodyguard before, but after he broke Ava's strict order not to talk to Anje countless times, Ava only took a dislike to him. Anje didn't find him all that bad because he was someone she could talk to. JSDF, Foreign Legion, private military companies. This man has traveled them all? Okay. And has skills in counter sniping and escorting VIPs. Also, my man's wearing double layer pants. I don't know if I noticed that before. Also, with boots? Ugh. And the straps are weird. Like on his, well, that would be his left leg, but it's on his right side. He has like two straps on his boots, but then on his right side, he only has, I can't even tell that's a strap on the top or if it's a cuff. Also, you don't tie the laces at the bottom. You tie them at the top. Otherwise, he's just going to be falling out of his boots when he has to run. Whatever. Amakusa, you're fucking weird. And, yeah, Ange. Yeah, we know who she is. The man who used to be my guard long ago. He's now the bodyguard Okonogi assigned to me. In that case, after Aunt Ava died, I must have thrown off my pursuers and gone on a journey to find out what happened on that day 12 years ago. Is that what happened? Did I have a memory of this? Snap back to reality. After a knock, the door opened, and the person I must have come here to meet entered along with a maid. Oh, wonderful. Even after seeing her face, I can't remember who she is.
お待たせいたしました。八条東也先生でございます。
Oh, that's a relief. The maid introduced her to me first. And I finally remembered who she was. She? I'm sure it was a he.
失礼ながら、先生で？
ええ、 私が八条東也です。
Sure. Hachijo Toya, a message bottle forger. She is a mysterious novelist, and the mysteries surrounding her outnumber even those found in her novels. Claiming to have found the truth on Rokkenjima, she writes new tales and publishes them on the web as though giving out extra hints. However, I have no memory of meeting her before my trip to Nijima.
週刊誌に先生のサイン会の件が載ってましたぜ。サングラスに
Kind
マ
of
スクでガッ
in
チリガ
bad
ードした
taste to write
謎の男性作家。
mystery stories about, a real life mass killing.
まさか女の先生だったとは。こりゃどういうわけで？
あれは編集部の方に手配していただいた似顔絵です。あのサイン会の
Like
時、
shit like that's happened.
後ろに待機していた海添が私でした。
こりゃ驚いた。先生の作品は読んだことないが、多分あんた本人の方がよっぽどミステリーですぜ。
読者など本を読んでいるふりをしているだけ。
Wait, what do you mean?
作者名とブランドだけで本を読み、読んだつもりでいる。
Okay.
彼らには私の本に何が書いてあっても何も読んでなんかいない。ただ今流行りの作品は欠かさず読んでいるとインテリブるために、その程度の者どもにどうして我が身をさらせようか。ああ、汚らわしきかな、汚らわしき
What
か
kind
な。
of woman?
なるほど。確かにあなたが八条先生のようですね。
Definitely got the airs about you. This person really is eccentric. There's no doubt about it. This is Hachijo Toya herself. Hachijo Toya is a mystery novelist who became the center of discussion lately. Though her actual books are apparently highly praised, it's her mysterious debut that's attracted so much attention towards her lately. Last year, she somehow managed to win several different awards for exceptional mystery novels offered by multiple large publishing companies, submitting each of her works under a different pen name. And after that, several highly regarded anonymous works were discovered, one after another, to have been stories she had written in the past under false names. And her popularity soared as she herself became more mysterious than her books. Despite all this, the author herself never appeared in public, and everything about her was wrapped in a veil of secrecy. However, just a few days ago, this author had finally made a public appearance for a book signing, showing up with a mask that covered his face and drawing even more public attention. And yet, apparently even that had been a fake. Given this person's radically unconventional track record, it was hardly a surprise to hear her casually insult her fans like this.
後宮英二さんのこともワイドショーでも随分いろいろやってましたから。
どうせろくな話じゃないわ。
ええ、ろくでもない話ばかりですよ。気分一つで人
Well,
を
that's
雇った
daytime TV
り
for you.
クビにしたり、何でもお金で解決しようとする無法者の乱暴者だとか。
違いね
でも
Yeah, not a lot of friends.
私はあなたのような頭のいい人は嫌いではない。
What, fucking birds of a feather?
だから会ってくれた
People
んで
no
すか。
friends.
ええ、伊藤育九郎0576が私八条東也の別のペンネームだと見破ったのはあなただけ。実に見事なるから。
伊藤育九郎0576。おかしなハンドルネームだったわ。
Yeah, it sounds almost like one of the not automated, but like one of the pre-generated ones when you like try to sign up for an email, but it's like the username's already taken, so it's like try this one instead.
でも数字に直すと110億1996万576と読める。
11019960576. This massive number is equal to 18 to the 8th power. 18 to the 8th power. In Japanese, Toya no Hachijo. Sure, man. That's how you reach Hachijo Toya.
よくできました。実に見事。そんなあなただから私も直接会ってみたかったのです。ようこそ人の子よ、我が邸宅へ。
Stop. Her manner of speaking was extremely condescending, but perhaps because her elegant manner didn't feel particularly irritating. This person had a sort of majestic grandeur about her, which made that style of speech seem almost natural. At least, that's how it felt to me. In fact, it felt almost as though this was the manifestation of some noble being, who would need no need to show herself before mere humans under normal circumstances. Since I'm not particularly a fan of hers, I guess this is proof that her mysterious charisma really is nothing to be laughed at. Making it sound like she's a piece. However, I didn't come here to talk to Hachijo Toya, the mystery novelist. I'm interested in... Let me take a sip before this one as I think about how to... That's a lot of syllables there. Itoi Kukuro 0576. The mysterious web author who only releases her works over the internet. Around the Japanese parts of the internet, Itoi Kukuro... Itoi Kukuro... I tried to, make it flow into itself too much, but the syllables, each one is said with the same emphasis. Itoi Kukuro, I did it again, but closer this time, is an extremely famous witch hunter. However, she isn't a big opinion leader like Professor Otsuki. She's one of those message bottle forgers who are always at the center of various debate. What did that say? I'm blind. I can't read. The center of vigorous debates. Message bottle forgers are, as the name suggests, people who forge and post contents of riddle-filled message bottles which purport to tell the story of the Rokunjima incident. Claiming to have discovered a new message bottle, they post either a very similar counterfeit or a new theory with their own interpretation of the truth, claiming that it was written by Ushiramiya Maria. They openly call themselves Ushiramiya Maria, read up a new bizarre tale as if they had been there themselves and knew the truth, and send their stories out into the newest sea that mankind has discovered, the internet, calling themselves the third or fourth message bottles. All of the first forgers were either simple pranksters or crooks trying to swindle collectors. However, eventually, people who claimed to have solved the riddles of the message bottles' tales and reached the truth started to appear. And they started work creating third and fourth message bottles from Ushiramiya Maria, as if they had moved over to the riddle teller's side. Words hard. Speak no good. These people rewrote the tale of the witch with whatever interpretation they wanted. Every once in a while, certain theories would gather an enormous amount of support on the web. Because of this, some of these creations began to be so widely trusted that they were believed to contain some grain of truth. The more rigid witch hunters openly despised these people, calling them forgers, counterfeits, or just witches. Though they claimed to have reached the truth, they refused to tell it, and created fake message bottles as though testing everyone else. It's no surprise that the serious witch hunters were very annoyed by these forgers. However, there were many people who simply liked to entertain themselves with the occult fantasy of Rokunjima, and a small number of these accepted these creations as literary works, glad of this expansion to the mysterious tale. Although the forgers, Itoi Kukuro was one of the most highly regarded.
End of the Golden Witch 読ませてもらいました。人の親族をよくも好き放題に殺せるものです。
それが言いたいためだけにわざわざここへ？いいえ、違うでしょ。
It could have just sounded like a pipe bomb to her
後宮家の
mailbox, like a
最後
horrible
の末
person.
裔よ。
In her latest forgery, End, she killed off at least 7 of my relatives during the story. Now, if you count Alliance and Banquet, the other forgeries she's made before now. Then she's killed off most of my family in horrible ways over and over again. Of course I'd want to complain. However, all her works are known for being, in both form and level of completion, the closest tales to those written by Ushuramiya Maria herself. In particular, Itoi Kukuro's first forgery, Banquet of the Golden Witch, was a depiction so complete that it even included Ushuramiya Ava's escape to Kuadorian. People wondered whether this might be the true story of Rokenjima, and it even made it onto the talk shows. So far, all these tales have been nothing more than an electronic text on the web. However, people will eventually realize that Itoi Kukuro is actually a Hachijo Toya. When that happens, these tales will become associated with that bizarre Hachijo, and no one will think of them as mere fan creations. People will probably start wondering if this might actually be a third message bottle she found and released under the guise of a story she herself wrote. When that happens, these stories will probably seem even more bizarre and credible.
狡猾ですね。
どうして？
そうしてあなたは自分の義書に神秘性と信憑性を与える。
信憑性とは？
それを得て、あなたの義書は真実に
Wait,
昇華
man,
される。
she's just a businessman doing business, man.
消化。愚かしい。そんなもの、私の作品には必要ありません。
なぜなら、あなたの作品は義書ではなく真実だから。
ええ。
They're better than the truth.
真実なのですから、消化など不要。
あなたはマリアお姉ちゃんじゃない。ましてや、あの日の六軒島にも存在しない。
Or was she?
なのに、
No, she wasn't.
どうして真実などとおこがましいことを。
あじゃあ頭に血が上りすぎですぜ。
No, not really.
うるさいわね。私のどこがそうだってのよ。
Yeah, she hasn't even broken anything yet. Anjay realized that she'd let her emotions get control over her. She let out a sigh and shrugged.
あなたがここへ来た理由は、親族を義書の中で何度も殺めた私をなじるためではないでしょ。
Hachijo had been smiling at Anjay kindly, but in a condescending manner. Or else, like a mother might watch over a very small child. Anjay realized this and was unable to suppress her irritation. Apparently, Amakusa could tell that Anjay was getting worked up. He joked around with her for a bit so that they could start the conversation over again from the beginning.
あなたが私に聞きたいのは、私の至った真実でしょう。
どうして真実に至ったと確信を。
すべての物語を理解したからです。
Okay.
だから、どうしてそうだと確信を。
太陽が地球の周りを回っていたことはあると思いますか？
Did it ever? No. Hachijo suddenly started talking about the geocentric model. Anjay was about to tell her not to answer questions with more questions, but she quickly realized what Hachijo meant.
かつて人間は天動説を支持していた。しかし近代、
Yeah, but then
そ
the
れは
truth
否定され
changed.
ることとなる。なら否定された瞬間に太陽は動きを止め、地球がその周りを回り始めたというのだろうか。
Nope, just the perspective changed.
そんなわけもない。人間が何を信じようと真実は変わらない。
ならば今、あなたが私の真実を否定するのは、つまりはそういうこと。
Several scholars before, my brain melted, Italiano names, Galileo, proposed the heliocentric model. However, it was hard to objectively prove it using scientific techniques available at the time. However, they didn't change the fact that it was the truth. And yet it moves.
真実はその立証のいかにかかわらず真実だと。
そうです。これより未来、やがて全ての真実が明らかになった時、私がすでに真実に至っていたと遡って人々は気がつくでしょう。
Awfully full of yourself. Apparently, Andre just couldn't stand Hachijo's attitude. She kept getting irritated, and every time, Amakusa would joke around until she settled down again. However, there could be no mistake that Hachijo was a genius, and had used her extraordinary intuition to form a most interesting perspective on the events that had occurred on that island. That was why Anjay wanted to contact Itoi Kukuro to hear about her viewpoint. There's too many fucking syllables in that name, Jesus Christ. Still, she really was lucky to have been granted this meeting. Anjay hadn't been absolutely sure that Itoi Kukuro was Hachijo Toya. She hadn't thought that the publishing company would really contact the author. And most of all, she hadn't dreamed that the mysterious masked author would grant her an interview under such short notice. The more she thought about it, the more she realized that the sum of the events leading to this meeting made for nothing short of a miracle. Yes, a miracle. After all, in most cases, I don't get contacted by the publishing company at all and leave for Nijima the next day. Getting some timey-wimey stuff. Some deja vu, bleeding in from, some other fragments. That's not supposed to happen. But then again, you were temporarily a witch on a higher plane, so, I left for Nijima, then I went to Rokenjima. Then I gave One-chan Sakutaro. Huh? That doesn't happen yet, don't think about it. Why would I have Sakutaro? My memory of the future is all muddled. My head hurts. Yeah, don't think about things that haven't happened. It's probably bad for the synapses. Hachijo said something about showing Anjay something good, rose from the sofa, and headed for the study desk. When she turned her back, Amakusa asked Anjay, who seemed to be troubled about something, if she was okay.
ねえ、天草。私って、いつからここにいるの？
はあ？さっきから様子がおかしいですぜ。
Did you fucking Steins Gate it?
何事ですかい？
私、いつからここに座ってるのか。
まだ寝ぼけてんですかい？
そうじゃなくて。だって、私は確か、大月教授とはアポイントが取れてたけど、伊藤育九郎の件では、出版社から返事がなくて。
It's like, what do you mean?
結局、
It's like,
この日は
we're
一
here.
日、
Clearly we got the
何もで
appointment.
きなかったんじゃなかったっけ？
は
天草は、大きな黒いバッグを受け取りに行ったんじゃなかったっけ？
That's right. Just before we left for Nijima, Amakusa and I briefly parted ways. It said something about getting a weapon from an acquaintance of his, and went to go get that large black bag. Wasn't that today? What am I talking about? I mean, didn't I go to Nijima, meet Captain Kawabata, and inside the bed shop? Huh? What?
どうしました？
Oh, Jay, are you having a stroke? Did my confusion and uncertainty make me sigh out loud? Even though Hachijo's back was to me, she slowly turned around and smiled as though she had peered into my heart.
いいえ、何も。
Strange memories, ones that I can't even understand. That even I can't understand. I put those words backwards. I tried to hide my confusion, but for some reason, Hachijo had a strange glint in her eyes, as though she could read my mind.
私は何冊もの義書の中で何度もあなたのご親族を蘇らせては殺す。まるで魔女のように。
好きなだけ蘇らせて、好きなだけ殺す。無限に。まるでベアトリーチェね。
ええ。だから私はやはりネット上で彼らがそう呼ぶように。
What do they say? Do people, as they say, people only tell the truth on the
魔女な
internet.
のかと思って。
That you're really Beatrice and you're the killer. The reason she knows so much is because she did it. She took a thickly packed brown envelope out of a locked drawer. It appeared to be filled bursting with pages of printed out text. Those pages clearly show, hand-drawn text, but Perhaps this was a manuscript for one of her works? And the neat letters written in fountain pen on the envelope spelled out the word Dawn. There's no forgery by the name of Dawn, which must mean Ange could tell. This was a new one. Hachijo's newest, unreleased forgery.
Dawn of the Golden Witch.
すべてを知る私にはすべてが退屈。しかし何も知らぬ無知にそれを読ませ、何がしかの反応を得ることは嫌いではない。だからあなたに読んでほしい。
新しい無限の魔女としての
Get a
新
sneak
作よ
peek.
そうです、人の子よ。あなたが憤慨しようとも感嘆しようとも、それは私の病を一時忘れさせる。
Yeah, the illness of boredom.
もう茶番は終わりにしましょう。あんたは誰？
Yeah, it's... You're laying it on pretty thick there.
私の記憶にこんな出会いはないわ。
Yes, I did try to contact Hachijo Toya. However, in the end, never got a chance to meet her. In other words, all of this is a falsehood.
今度は私は誰の駒？悪いけど、この後ろ宮エンジェ。飼いならせると思ったら大間違いよ。
やはりそなたは面白いかな。
At least we're now all on the same page. No. Let's all be frank and earnest with each other, huh? She finally couldn't hold it back and burst out laughing. Gradually, the space around them seemed to fill with a strange purple mist. This room itself seemed to twist and bend. Ooh. Her figure also twisted, and after transforming through something that couldn't be described, she took the form of just what she had called herself, a witch.
見事なり、よくぞ私を見破った。
There's a design I recognize.
私ってつくづく魔女に好かれる。
Don't know anything about her, just, you know, osmosis on the internet for so long.
あんたたちに特徴的などこか人を舐めた口調。
You float around A and JP for long enough and you just recognize things.
すぐに魔女だって分かったわ。
At least A and JP are nice. Visual Novel General just calls me slurs. The novelist sitting on the sofa was nowhere to be seen. Even Ange's bodyguard, who was supposed to be around at times like this, was gone. There was only a non-human figure relaxing in a large, ornate rocking chair.
面白きかな、人の子よ。愉快なり、それでこそ我が退屈にふさわしい。
こっちは全然愉快じゃないわ。
So, if Lambda Delta and Burn Castell are third parties, are you a fourth party? How many layers removed are we getting now?
どうして私は生きてるの？私は名前を明かしたルール違反でひどい殺され方をしたと思ってたけど。
I mean, you did get turned into hamburger meat, but, you know. Wow. I did doubt those people would just let me go so easily. What kind of farce will I be forced to go along with this time? I really don't care. I'll just do whatever I can within my bounds of the role they give me. Whatever I can to help Oni-chan. Of course, I understand. Even if he wins, he'll never come back to me.
でもね、あがくわよ。あの日の私のところへお兄ちゃんを返すためにね。
Save all the other
そう切り
Anges in
立
the
たずともよい。
multiverse.
私がそなたに求める役割は駒ではない。
じゃあ何の用で呼び出したの？まさかあんたの書いたとかいう新しい物語を読めとでも言う気じゃないでしょうね。
その通りだ。そなたに望むのは駒ではない。もとより私は傍観者。あやつらのゲームにちょっかいを出す気など
Sure.
毛頭もなし。
Works for me. Also, interesting, you know, design now that I think about it. Big fancy metals like that. Very more Western design. And, you know, the horns At least I think those are horns. It might be like a weird halo thing. And fancy kimono makes me think more of Hanyu.
意味わかんないわ。あんたは私に何を期待してるの？
私のためにベアトリーチェの紡ぐかけらの観測者であれ。
Okay.
観測者？よくわかんないけど、お
Man
断
on the
りよ。
inside.
かつて私はバトラを通してかけらを鑑賞していた。しかし彼がゲームマスターを継承した今、観測者としてふさわしくないのだ。
Yeah, he fucking turned on his VPN.
私は
He can no
心
longer
より
track his
純粋
data.
な気持ちで物語を追っている。
Use a VPN, kids. I don't care which one. I'm not sponsored by anyone. I just use Nord because they have an add-on for Chrome, which I use, which, you know, honestly, Chrome kind of sucks. I probably should switch to a different browser. But, you know, I can just turn it on and off from there without having to open the app and, like, sign in and whatnot. Very convenient. Just always have it on.
その私にとって今のバトラを通して観測することはさながら推理小説を逆さに読むにも等しい興ざめ。
Yeah, now that he's making all the moves himself, you know, setting up the board.
お兄ちゃんがゲームマスター？何の話をしてるのかさっぱりだわ。
But look, some developments have happened in the interim
Sappari
when you've been gone.
知りたいであろう。私も知りたい。バトラがゲームマスターを継承し紡ぐ物語がどのようなものか。
One where no one dies and everyone goes home happily ever
そ
after.
してバトラが至ったという真実がどのようなものか。私は病の深きに
I'm sure you're very bored.
考えねば鼓動を続けることさえかなわ
つまり、あんたは新しい絵本を私に朗読してもらいたいってわけ？
ぬ。そういう解釈でよい。見返りにそなたもまた自由に思考を旅することができる。
What does that mean?
そなたとて
Like a
未だ
mental
真相に
exercise or
は
like
至っていないはず。続けたいはずだ。真相を知る旅を。
I would very much like to know the truth, please.
あんたに得をさせる義理がないわ。
生きがるな。私は時に寛大だが多くの場合そうではない。
Angé hadn't yet reached the truth either. Though she knew that the game was a little more than a toy for the witches to play with, she wanted it to resume so that she could follow the tale and close in on the king called Truth.
私が真実に至るために物語を追うかもしれないけれど、あんたのために最後まで朗読する義理はないわ。意味はわかる？
Angé was willing to read the story aloud, but she could quit any time if this witch made her mad. She was, in effect, warning the witch not to annoy her.
無論だ。
Man, we're at like fucking 3 degrees of narration here.
絵本と称したが私にとっては死に至る病への唯一の薬。
4 of you include me into the mix, because we got Game Master Battler narrating the board. That's the 6th episode with, oh god. Then if you include, you know, extra high level battler who's with Beatrice in the Golden Land, unless they're an adjacent narration level from Anjay and fucking Hachijo here. I'm moving on. Let's not think of this.
そなたの改造えなく
Like
し
an
て
onion.
飲むこともできる
Narrative onion. Shrek.
すなわち
Umineko is just
勝
Shrek.
利強制だ。
あんたが寝入るまで私に本を朗読しろと。その代わり私にも読むことを許す。そういうことね。
Mutually beneficial.
そうだ。引き受けてくれるならばしばしの一時私の朗読者に任ずる。
Don't put things in capitals, please.
偉そうな役職名だけど、所詮はただの本読みでしょ。
Oh, you got a nice voice.
私の朗読者であるという
More
こ
than
と
can be said
は
for me.
私の使いであるということ。すなわちそなたへの干渉は私への干渉。私は ベアトリーチェの物語の続きを読みたいという唯一の興味を何者にも邪魔されることを許さぬそなたをもてあそんだベルンカステルもラムダデルタも無論ベアトリーチェさえもそなたに対して一切の強制力を持つことは許さない。
So, you'll intervene, like when the DM's girlfriend makes really bad rolls, but you know, he plays favorites, so you know he fudges them, so that way, oh yeah, that totally was a hit. Wow, crazy, you killed it. Or, oh no, the totally fucking nat 20 I just rolled totally wouldn't just crit and kill you instantly. No, it missed. Damn, that's crazy. This witch, who seemed to have an almost divine quality to her, spoke both quietly and forcefully. There was no threat in her words. However, even so, it was clear that she was on a different level than Bernkastel and the other witches, and not at all to be taken lightly.
本を読ませる代わりに私を保護してくれると？
無論だ。私は朗読を望んでいる。それを邪魔する者は何人であれ許しはしない。
Well, it's good to have friends in high places.
私の態度が横柄に感じるならば謝ろう。人の子よ。
You know, when you do it, it's not nepotism, it's just called networking.
私はこれでもそなたに最大の敬意を持って語りかけている。
みたいね。その魔女らしい口調さえどうやらあんたの中では数百年ぶりに見せた敬意って感じがするわ。
そなたは本を読むとき本によろしくお願いしますと語りかけてから表紙をめくるか？
Not particularly, but I'll occasionally give kudos to the author.
そういう
If
こと
like
よ
there's
ね。
one really well-written like section.
理解したわ。
You know, just internally in my mind, being like, oh yeah, nice. Just by agreeing to have this conversation with Anjay, she was showing an incredible amount of respect and willingness to compromise. Anjay shrugged, but she also nodded to show her consent.
いいわ。あんたの朗読者を引き受ける。あんたが私に同意を求めた時点で最大の敬意を表したことを理解したわ。
良き理解だ、人の子よ。
私の名はエンジェよ。人の子だかタケノコだか呼ぶのはやめて。
良いだろう。私が敬意を示すことの証にそなたの名を認めよう。
For her, acknowledging a human's name was like acknowledging the names of all the leaves scattered across the ground. So, her acknowledging Anjay's name was a miracle. No, it was immensely good fortune.
これよりそなた、後宮エンジェを感激の魔女、フェザリーノ・アウグストゥス・アウローラの巫女にして朗読者に任ずる。
That's a name I recognize. We get character update and tip. We did! Featherine Augustus Aurora. It's not... No, it is. No? Aurora? It kind of rolls more. Didn't know she had a cane. Or is that a staff? The majestic witch of theater-going, drama, and spectating. She is tired of life after 1,000 years and constantly repeats a cycle of life and death. In the past, she served as the master for numerous games of a legendary witch, but her legend, glory, and memory have already disappeared into the past and have been forgotten. Only the solemn medal that she wears on her chest retains those memories. The horseshoe-shaped object floating around her head is a memory aid device. It records her name, appearance, and other aspects of her personality. She is so old that she would not be able to preserve her own individuality without this. Cool. Horrors beyond my human comprehension.
そなたが朗読を終えるまで。
Oh, yeah. I need to read Miko. Miko is often translated as Shrine Maiden. Traditionally dressed in white and red, Miko acts as assistants at Shinto shrines. In addition to helping out with the day-to-day running of the shrine, including cleaning the premises and selling charms and fortunes, Miko also performs ceremonial dances and assists priests in Shinto rituals and performances.
そなたの朗読を妨げようとするすべての者に災いを与えよう。
When the Witch of Theater-going, Featherine, spoke this, Anjay was wrapped in a bright light. Anjay didn't feel any particular change herself, but she definitely had been given something that only non-humans could sense. It signified that from this point forward, Anjay would be attached to the Witch of Theater going. That didn't mean that Anjay would gain some sort of special power, but at the very least, it probably meant that anyone wanting to cause her harm would first have to take on Featherine herself.
あんたの名前、随分と長いのね。ローマの偉人みたい。なんと呼べば？
親しくない者はアウグストゥス・アウローラと呼ぶ。
私に敬意を示してくれたあんたに、私も敬意を示して。フェザリーヌと呼ぶわ。問題は？
ない。病んだこの身には名を呼ばれることさえ噛みしめがいのある優越だ。人の子よ。
エンジェよ、私の名前。
It's asking a lot for her to remember things.
そういうやりとりさえも心地よきかな。エンジェ、我が巫女よ。
Anjay accepted her role. She would observe this tale with the Witch of Theater going. The curtain was rising on the sixth tale. And with that, that is where we're going to end it here for today. I know, short episode, what can you do? But you can tell, I'm fucking tired. I need to go to sleep. I need to wake up and do homework. Because just because I did my one big essay, I still have to do all my homework, which is due tomorrow. So I have to do it all over again. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification. We'll see you guys next time for the next episode of Umineko. Thanks, bye.